This is Formula One.
Welcome to F1 Blogs. Today, we bring you an exclusive interview with Carlos Sainz, who celebrates his 200th Grand Prix in Formula One this weekend at the Singapore GP. Sainz reflects on his time with Ferrari, his future with Williams, and the current state of F1. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more F1 content, interviews, and race analysis. Carlos Sainz, Madrid, 30 years old, celebrates his 200th Grand Prix in Singapore this weekend, marking a decade in Formula One. Last year, he secured his second win in the sport at this very race. And now he's preparing for his final races with Ferrari as his future moves towards Williams. In this interview, Carlos discusses his experienced young status in F1, his fight for victories, and the long road ahead with an iconic team rebuilding for future success. You're reaching 200 races. Yes, I'll be at 200 races now, though technically it would be 201 with Saudi Arabia, as I've been present at 204 Grands Prix, but didn't race in Jeddah due to appendicitis, or in Belgium 2020 and Qatar 2023 due to mechanical issues. It's a lot 10 years in F1. Are you now somewhere between the veterans and the younger drivers? That's what time does. I was young 4 or 5 years ago, and now I'm in the middle. Neither old nor young. I'm what you'd call experienced young. More rookies keep joining who remind me of myself 10 years ago. Now there are more opportunities to help younger drivers with regulations, and I'm glad F1 is moving in that direction. What have you contributed to Ferrari over the last 4 years? When I arrived, Ferrari was coming off one of its most difficult years in 2020, lagging more than a second per lap behind the best teams. If you look at Ferrari's situation when I joined and how it's evolved, I'm proud of the progress we've made. There have been ups and downs, the rise in 2022, the drop in 2023, and the steady progress in 2024. These seasons have given me my first F1 wins, my first pole positions, and many podiums. I'm happy to have achieved that with such a historic team and to have enjoyed my time as a Ferrari driver. Which 4 or 5 races stand out to you, perhaps less obvious ones? I have great memories of my 3 victories as expected. But if I had to pick others, I'd choose some good comeback races, like Monza or Paul Ricard in 2022 and the podium in Abu Dhabi in 2021. I finished that season really strong with the 2021 car, improving a lot throughout the year. There could be a win before the season ends. Singapore and Las Vegas are clear options. What do you wish you'd done better? The start of 2022 frustrates me. The rule changes affected me a lot as a driver. The cars were very different from what we'd been driving until 2021, and Ferrari had a very fast car, but very hard to drive. It didn't suit my style, and I missed some chances to win because I wasn't 100% comfortable with the car. You've had teammates like Norris and Verstappen. Leclerc also came in with a great reputation, but you've been right there with him, sometimes a tenth apart. Do you think the comparison with Charles reflects well on you? I hope so. Charles is, if not the fastest, one of the fastest I've raced against, especially over one lap. The gap between us has always been small from qualifying to race pace. The team has stats for the whole year, and the numbers are incredibly close. Similar points, grid positions close to each other. The only problems have come when we're on track together, one behind the other, but that's also been Ferrari's advantage, a very balanced driver pairing. Ferrari is on an upward trend. Could more wins come in 2024? A win could happen before the end of this year. Singapore and Las Vegas are the best chances to fight for victory. It doesn't mean we'll win, but we'll be closer than in Austin, Brazil, or Abu Dhabi. That doesn't mean we're going to win the championship either. The fastest car right now is McLaren's, and if they hadn't made some mistakes, they'd already be far ahead. We're within reach of both McLaren and Red Bull because, even without the fastest car, we do everything else well. Does this unstable season make you appreciate the dominant years of Verstappen or Hamilton more? The margin Verstappen or Hamilton had isn't the same as what Lando, Norris, and Piastri have now. They have the fastest car, but by 2 or 3 tenths. Max and Lewis had much more than that. It's not comparable. I've never seen F1 as close as it is now. Behind them, 6 cars are within a tenth, and when they slip up, like at Spa or Monza, you see it. Well in the past, and that's my next goal. If Williams is fighting for the top 10, I want to make sure we're consistently scoring points in the 2 years I'm with them. If those years go well and we're heading in the right direction, I'd like to bet on a long-term future there. You're leaving Ferrari with no hard feelings. I don't have a bad word to say about Ferrari, and I believe they feel the same. This isn't happening because we're unhappy with each other. It's more circumstantial. I'm still convinced that if Hamilton hadn't wanted to end his career at Ferrari, I would have renewed. But you can't say no to a 7-time world champion. I get it. It's a pairing that was meant to happen, and I've been the one affected. If Ferrari fights for the title next year, how will you feel? Envious? Proud that you contributed? There will be a part of me that contributed, but I won't be focusing on Ferrari's year. My head will be in the present. That feeling won't exist. If you enjoyed this interview and want to stay up to date with all the latest F1 news, make sure to subscribe to F1 Blogs. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.